Okay, so the world of K-content, it's moving at lightning speed. Seriously, in the time it takes you to watch this, there's a Hollywood studio shooting a K-pop blockbuster in Seoul, a new group hitting the top of the charts, and like a dozen K-dramas making their debut. It all seems separate, but trust me, it's all connected. Let's dive in and connect the dots.
But first, let me just throw this out there, because it might sound a little wild. A full-blown K-pop movie actually being produced by a major Hollywood studio? Is that for real? Is that really happening?
And the answer, oh, it is a huge yes. We are literally witnessing what you could call K-pop's big Hollywood moment. And honestly, it's an even bigger deal than it sounds.
So, what we're talking about here is this landmark project bringing together two absolute powerhouses, HYBE America and Paramount Pictures. And get this, they're filming on location right now all across Korea, in Seoul, Incheon, and Paju. This isn't just some other movie. This is a massive test for a whole new model of fusing K-pop and Hollywood film on a truly global scale.
I mean, just let that sink in for a second. This isn't a Korean film that gets an American release later on. No, this is a Hollywood blockbuster made from the ground up entirely on location in Korea. This signals a massive shift in how global entertainment sees the Korean market, not just as a place to sell things, but as a creative hub for major international projects.
So, okay, Hollywood is clearly betting big on K-pop's power on the big screen. But where does that power really come from? It all starts with the music. So let's look at the charts. Who's actually commanding the industry's influence right now?
All right, if you look at the brand reputation rankings for September, you see this really interesting story of consistency versus, well, disruption. For the male groups, look, no surprises here, right? BTS is still firmly planted at #1, which is just a testament to their incredible global presence. But on the female group side, that's where things get interesting. There's been a huge shakeup, with HYBE just surging to the top, launching themselves into that top tier of influence.
And this just goes to show you, right? There are so many different ways to get to the top. You've got BTS holding strong with their constant global footprint. Then you have IVE, whose massive jump is all thanks to their smash new album XOXZ. And then there's ATEEZ, proving you can conquer the world one country at a time, hitting #1 on Japan's Oricon chart thanks to a super strong international fandom. It's a battle for influence on multiple fronts.
And you know this incredible creative energy? It's not just in music, it's absolutely exploding in the world of K-dramas. And hey, if you still think K-dramas are all about those classic romance stories, you really need to look again. We are in the middle of a true genre explosion.
Okay, first up, let's talk about Tempest. I mean, you've got the heavy hitters, Jun Ji-hyun and Gang Dong-won. And this is not just another love story. It's a super high-stakes spy romance, mixing diplomacy and mystery. The early buzz is really strong, and everyone's talking about the rising tension and the insane chemistry between the leads.
Then you have something on the complete opposite end of the spectrum, Confidence Queen. This is a sharp, really witty heist comedy about 3 con artists trying to make it in the wild world of real estate and finance. And people are loving it so much that it's actually got people talking about a full-on comeback for the whole con artist genre in K-dramas.
And to round out this amazing trio, you've got First Lady, a straight-up political thriller with just a killer premise. A woman supports her husband all the way to becoming president, and the second he wins, she hits him with a bombshell. She wants a divorce. The whole story just dives right into that wild conflict, and it's a perfect example of dramas taking on way riskier, more complex stories.
But here's the thing. A big, bold idea doesn't always guarantee a massive opening night. It kicked off with about 2.179% viewership, which for a show with this much investment is kind of modest. So this makes it a really fascinating one to watch. The big question is, can it build that tension and pull in more viewers over time? We're going to have to wait and see on that one.
You know, all of this just highlights the insane speed of the K-drama world. I mean, a super popular show like My Troublesome Star literally just ended its run on September 23rd, and just 3 days later, boom, a huge new historical epic, The Murky Stream, is already dropping on Disney+. The machine just never stops. There's always something new right around the corner.
So, okay, we've got a Hollywood movie, we've got battles on the music charts, and this explosion of new drama genres. These might seem like separate things, but they're not. They're all connected by some really powerful trends happening behind the scenes. So let's break it all down and decode what's really going on.
When you really step back and look at the big picture, you can see 4 major shifts happening.
First, there's this huge genre diversification. Dramas are moving way beyond just romance. Second, global investment and expansion. That HYBE and Paramount deal is the poster child for this. Content is now being made for a worldwide audience from day one. Third, brand power is evolving. Success isn't just about one thing anymore, it's a whole multimedia strategy. And finally, the content cycle. The industry is built on this ridiculously fast flow of new shows constantly replacing old ones.
You know, there's actually a term for this big trend of global expansion. It's called content convergence. It's basically the strategy of taking something like K-pop and launching it into totally new formats. And that HYBE and Paramount movie we talked about, that's not just a film. It is the perfect real-world example of this whole idea in action. The lines between music, movies, and global markets are just disappearing.
So when you take all these trends together, the genre bending, the global money pouring in, this idea of content convergence, it's all completely reshaping the entire landscape, and it's all pointing in one clear direction. A future where Korean content is even more influential on the world stage.
And that really leaves us with one big final question to think about. We've seen music turn into movies. We've seen dramas break out of their genre boxes and land on global platforms. So as this influence keeps growing and growing, the real question isn't if it will grow. That seems like a given. But where it will go. What new frontiers will it conquer next?